friends, it's Mrs. Price here, and I just wanted to pop in with a tutorial for the second part of our Kente cloth activity. And I just wanted to kind of give you some ideas because again, even though the basic part of this project is the same, we're all kind of making our mat and we're making our color parts, you can do with it what you like. So I'm just going to show you some ideas and some techniques and some options, and then you can, choose what works best for you, especially based on what you have available as far as your tools and supplies. So we'll go from there. So by now we went through our first part of our project, which is cutting our mat and then getting our 1-inch pieces ready, okay? So if you haven't had a chance to do that, please check out the part 1. It's here on YouTube, so you can take a peek at that, okay? That's a really important step for getting this ready. Now, if you've gotten that step completed, let's take a look at what our next one will be. So basically, I have my 1-inch strips set to the side for the moment, okay? And what I did was, just so I can get an idea, I took my first blue piece and I wove it through, okay? And I'm gonna show you, okay, how that's done. So you can see how it ends up, and you can see as I pull it out, the weaving effect that happens. So whichever works better for you, top or bottom. I'm gonna work from top because that'll show up easier on the camera. You take your end of your strip and you basically go over and under and over and under and over and under. So you see, it's pretty quick once you have it set up. And then what you can do, I'm going to give you a choice here, is you can go to your next step and you can go the opposite way. So as you can see, this one is under, okay? So we're going to go over and then under, and we're basically alternating, okay? So whatever you did with the first piece, you want to do the opposite with this one. And that actually keeps it together, okay? So I'm just going to move that over. So again, you can see I went under with this piece and then over with this piece, which is why you can see the green, okay? So the very first step is to continue going across. You can basically fit 4 pieces. So that's kind of, once you get the hang of it, that's the easy part. Now, how fancy you want to get with it, that I will leave up to you. So I'm going to show you some ideas here. So I'm going to take my green piece, because I already have a blue piece here, and that's what I'm going to be focusing on first. So with the green, I'm actually going to cut some wavy lines. Okay. And you can choose, diagonal lines. You can just choose to make a thinner piece that's just cut straight down. That's up to you, okay? And then I'm going to take this wavy piece and I'm going to follow the pattern of the blue piece. So I'm going over and I'm just continuing weaving down this way. And because the blue piece is already set up, believe it or not, I'm just kind of pushing this through. I don't have to work so hard to weave the second piece. Okay. All right. So again, because you did the hard part, the second piece just slides in, and you can see it gives you just kind of a patterned effect. Okay. And then I would take the blue, and let's say I'm going to go ahead, and this time I will do more of a zigzag shape. So I'm just going to cut to the side. Now again, the trick is just making sure that you don't cut all the way through this decorative piece, okay? Because obviously you want to be able to slide it through. In fact, the one I just cut was probably making a little bit of a weak spot, but I think it'll do for the tutorial. So again, because you already did the hard part, this one just slides right on through, okay? And then you can go like that. All right. So it creates like more of an effect and more of a layering. And then, you can do whatever shapes you want. I just happen to pick more of these wavy and a diagonal shape just to add some interest and just to add a pattern. Now, this is where you can continue on and get fancy if you want to. So as you can see, I actually use, like I mentioned, the tartan of my grandmother's family, the Scottish tartan, as my inspiration. So I did not have, there's a little tiny bit of orange, like an orangey red in there that I didn't have in construction paper. So what I might want to do is I might want to layer in some of my boxes with orange. So I might go back in and start to shade in very lightly with orange. And I probably want to alternate that, and I might even do a yellow in over the other boxes. Now, the very last step that I'm going to suggest that I thought might be kind of fun, but again, this is only if you have a Sharpie at home or you have extra time. I almost want to go back in and just do a little bit more layering. So in this case, I might want to add in a little bit of a pattern. So for instance, right here, I might kind of do some dot patterns. And maybe just some, I don't know, some diagonal pattern too. And then just lay some lines the other way. Okay. So again, these are just some ideas, and you can take either your own inspirational colors, or maybe if you had something that's important, like even a baby blanket or something like that, I'm almost thinking, or team colors or anything like that that's important to you, and then you can add in the elements that you choose, the colors and maybe the patterns. Okay, so but this is the basic strategy, is making your mat, weaving everything through like I showed you, alternating over under, and then as you can see, it's pretty easy to lay in that other color over the top once it's set up, and then go ahead in, and you can also shade with another color. You can do patterns with the shading itself. You can do, you know, multiple colors inside each box. And then the one thing I just really wanted to add for a little bit more of a pop or an impact was to go over and layer with pattern and Sharpie. Okay, so I hope that you like this project. And again, my goal is for you really to make it your own. The whole point of Kente cloth is to show symbolism that's important to you, community, family, things like that. So that's really what my whole goal is to see what's important to you and how you kind of create that in the symbol of what we're kind of making out of paper, but really should be a cloth. So to kind of tell our story through that. So I hope you enjoyed the project. And again, take your time. You have plenty of time. And then when you're all finished, if you could please take a picture of your beautiful masterpiece and upload it for me on Seesaw, I would love to have a look. Thanks for joining me.